It's like right there. It's like boom, right there in my face. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey y'all. Hey Shira. Hey Neat. Hey Cowboy. Hey Miss Gina. Hey Tanya. Hey Mocha Empress. How are y'all? What's going on TikTok? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? YouTube and Facebook. How y'all feeling? How y'all doing? Y'all all right? Hey Miss Dawn. How you doing? Hey Tanisha. Chrissy. How are you? Stoonie. Stoonie, what's going on? May and Shatora. Hello, my cousins. Good morning, my cousins. How are y'all? I love y'all. I love y'all. Hey, baby, pretty lady. I love y'all, and I'm so happy for your growth. I'm so proud of y'all. I am. I'm just like, what's going on, Reed? I'm just like, I'd be like, dang, look at my cousins. Look at them. They growing, they maturing, they standing up for themselves, they showing up for themselves, right? Like I'm super, like I'm y'all's cheerleader. I'm like, go Shiamba, go Shiamba. Hey, it's CC Sugar Mama, what's going on? I'm doing good, thank y'all for asking. I pulled my nose ring last night, so it's a little sore. Hey, CC. But other than that, I'm doing mighty fine. I'm doing mighty fine. And I ain't just saying it. Like, you know how you can feel something happening, something in the spirit is about to happen, and you be like, dang, like, I can't describe it. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something big about to happen, right? Like there's just there's a unction, there's a feeling in the spirit, you know what I mean? There feels like a celebration that's going on, and I can't explain it. I can't explain it, but I'm telling you, it's something that's going to be major. Come on, if you believe in that for yourself today, I want y'all to say it's major. It's major. Right? I can't explain it. I can't explain it. I can't describe it almost, but I know that it's major. And I'm claiming it to be big, life changing. You're a new cousin. You're a new cousin. Welcome. Thank you for joining class. Thank you for joining class. There's something major that's happening, y'all. I'm so serious. And I love it. I love the fact that God is no respecter of man, meaning he don't just do it for one person and won't use other people as examples. And I believe that he's put us together. He's made us a unit, right? So that when something happens for one, it literally happens for all. It literally happens for all, right? My shirt says, I live in the land of plenty. And the back of it says, and I lack no good thing. Come on, that's our what do you want to call it? Motto, for lack of better words right now. That's our motto, that we live in the land of plenty and we lack no good thing. And the land of plenty, y'all know what it is. Come on, cousins. Some of our cousins that are trailblazing cousins, some of our cousins that have been here from day one, tell them where the land of plenty is. Tell them where the land of plenty is. I'm going to go ahead and sing y'all a song. Y'all ready? Y'all tell them where the land of plenty is. And what's all in the land of plenty. Good morning, Kathy. How you doing? Hey, Lolo. How are you? Come on, our mantra. That's it. That's our belief system. Come on. We live in the land of plenty. We lack no good thing. Good morning. Hey, Tequila. How you doing? Y'all ready for the song? Hello. Hello. Hello, and how are you? Mighty fine. Mighty fine. Mighty fine, and you are too. Hello, 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 and how are you? Mighty fine, mighty fine, mighty fine, and you are too. Because period. Why would we be anything else? Why would we claim anything else? Why would we be like, yeah, I'm all right, I'm okay. No, I'm mighty fine. Because my mama always say, don't let nothing happen today that you and the good Lord can't take care of. And baby, listen, where I'm weak, he made strong. So that means we covered. We're covered. Hey, Kendra, good morning. The land of plenty. The land of plenty is not only where we live and we have all of our heart's desire, but it's literally where our peace is. It's literally where our faith is. It's literally where our hope is, right? It's where our unspeakable joy. It's that peace that surpasses all understanding. That's the land of plenty, and we lack no good thing. You know, oftentimes when we're going through the fire and we're going through something, we always think it's punishment. It's easy to look at it and say that it's punishment, right? It's like, well, why would this happen? And why would God allow this to happen? But perhaps he's allowing this thing, right? This what you see as a storm to happen to equip you for where you're going. And I know sometimes that sounds so confusing. It's like, yo, but how does pressure produce like me being equipped? How does that work? It does. Because I promise you, once you get through it and you see that God came through for you, that he literally did not let you scrape your toe, that he literally did not let you hurt yourself, you know what I mean? Like you did not fall, you'll realize that, oh, wait a minute. God is revealing himself to me in a deeper way, right? He's showing up for me. So he wants me to get to know him in a different way, in a deeper manner. This morning when I was praying, I was like, God, thank you for revealing your mysteries to me. Thank you for revealing yourself. Like I knew you as my mama's God. I knew you as my grandmother. I call her Medea. My Medea's God. I knew you as my ex's God. I knew you as everybody else's God. But God, you made it personal. And so now I know you as my God. Shoot, I be taking that thing personal. I be like, my God, thank you for being my God. My prayer this morning was, God, show yourself to the cousins as their God individually. You know what their needs are. You know what their aches are. You know what their desires are, God. Show up for them as their God, right? Because I can explain to you all day long what my God's done for me. And maybe it's not your situation. Maybe you need him to come through in a different type of way. And so my prayer is that he will show himself to you. And he will prove that he's good, even when situations are bad, even when it's a tough time, right? You know, one of the questions I get asked all the time is, how do you find your calling? How do I know what my calling is? How do I know what my calling is? Thank you for the badges. Thank you for the seeds that you're sowing already this morning. I appreciate them. You ask, how do I know what my calling is? I know, right? Like, have you ever asked, like, what's my calling? What's my purpose, God? Why am I here? What am I going through this for? It feels like everybody else know they calling, or my sister, she know her calling, she know her purpose, and she's just getting along through life, you know, just fine, mighty fine. And sometimes I feel like I'm wandering in the wilderness, and I don't know what my calling is, right? And is this true, or is this just some of these DMs I get, right? And some of these emails I get? X, don't do me like that. Y'all know I'm from Mississippi. And so a lot of times I get these questions. I'm asked these questions. Asked. I don't even know how to even begin to pronounce it right. I'm asked, like, how do I find my calling? How do I know what I'm called to do? Right? Right, Tanya? Come on. This is going to be, can I be y'all's professor for a little bit? I'm your friend, but I kind of want to teach something real quick. I'll bring my brother on in just a second, but I kind of want to teach something real quick because I want to clarify it with me too. And so, have you wondered what your calling is and what your purpose is? And like, God, why am I here? Because right now, I prayed for one thing, and I prayed, you know, I thought I was going to be a doctor. I thought I was going to be a lawyer. I thought I was going to be a teacher. You know what I mean? I thought I was going to be a chef. You know what I mean? Like, I thought I was going to be whipping it up in the kitchen. Right. People love placing titles on you. And so it's like, yo, like sometimes we feel like we're wandering, and we feel like too, with age, we should know what our calling is. We should know what our purpose is by now. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like 41. Dang, like I should know what I'm here to do at this age. But I will tell you that your calling is revealed in each season of your life. And I'll explain that to you in just a second. Real quick, y'all, I went to therapy yesterday, and my therapist ripped me up. You hear me? I was like, sir, I had to tell him, this call is over. I got to go and put myself back together again. You know what I mean? Like we're done. Mr. Will, we're done, okay? He said, Dannella, you're trying to squeeze blood out of a turnip. He said, before this call even started, he said, you came in and you told me out the gate all the red flags. And are you trying to paint them pink? I said, sir, are you in my message that I taught today? No, I'm not trying to paint them pink. I have you know. I know they red. I know these flags are red. I don't need you to tell me what I already know, sir. I really wanted you to kind of validate the opposite part. But since you didn't do that, the call is over. He was like, get back here. Come on back here. We're going to sit in this. He said, because perhaps what you're finding fault in a situation, that situation is finding fault in you. Ooh, something in your business. He said, you finding fault in that thing, but that thing is also finding fault in you. And I'm like, but I thought it was part of my purpose. So, right, don't get defensive. I'm like, but I thought it was part of my purpose. And so you're kind of disrupting me because I thought it was part of my calling. And so you telling me that I'm trying to squeeze blood out of a turnip and it's impossible. I mean, I can get closer if I had a beet, right? It'll be the same color. But this is a turnip. And so you telling me that I was wrong? You're telling me that what I've been hearing has been more of me trying to see something for what I want to see it as, and not for what God really has already opened my eyes. See, a lot of times we're not confused. We're just trying to see it for what we want to see it as. Your calling is not about you. Your calling don't satisfy or tickle your fancy. It don't satisfy your urges and tickle your fancy. Your calling sometimes don't feel good. Your calling oftentimes feels like you're being suppressed or hidden. Your calling, it doesn't necessarily make you feel good about waking up with Folgers in your cup. Because your calling will cause you to sacrifice. My baby always say, Mommy, you so nice. I'm like, I'm not kind, I'm not nice. I'm obedient. You see, obedience is better than sacrifice. And if I'm just basing it on my emotion of being nice, I'm not going to always be nice. But one thing I'm going to live an obedient life because I can't afford to sacrifice nothing else. And you understand that your calling will call you and cause you to live a sacrificed life, because you will have to sacrifice, y'all. And I say this all the time. I teach it all the time, but I want you really to understand the importance of letting your old self go. My therapist said, Dannella, you trying to fit a wooden peg, a square peg into a round hole. And I don't care how much you dig and dig and dig, it's never going to fit. Either it's going to be too big or too small. It's never going to fit. And you're trying to force it. And I'm arguing with this man, but this is my calling, this is my purpose. But you don't even really know me outside of me telling you, like, sir, how do you know this? I'm trying to negotiate and rationalize, because what he's telling me, I already know. Because also with calling, God won't leave you in the dark. You'll know, right? But a lot of times we run from it, we avoid it. A lot of times there's so much outside noise that we can't decipher God's voice. Sometimes his voice sounds familiar to what we've heard, right? Because what we've done is we've indoctrinated and filled ourselves full of all these good sounding memes and all these good sounding songs and all these good sounding quotes and all these good sounding lives and messages, right? And so when God is speaking to us, we want to make him common. We want to make him sound like, oh my gosh, listen, I just heard that. That's got to be God. Like, I just heard surrender, so that's got to be God. And God be like, stop making me common. I'm not going to sound like you. You've made me sound like your favorite teacher. You've made me sound like your favorite pastor. You've made me sound like this funny meme. But I'm not common. My ways are not your ways. My thoughts are not your thoughts. And so in order to really recognize God's voice, it's going to take you separating yourself. That place of isolation that God has been putting you in, but you keep saying, but I need people, but it makes me feel I have to. You have these unhealthy attachments. You have unhealthy attachments. You're attached to people. You're attached to things. And God is trying to isolate you so that he can train your ear to hear his voice. Let me go here real quick. Go with me. 1 Samuel 3, we're going to start at 1. I'm going to read a story to y'all. Because I want you to understand that you don't have to look for your calling. You don't have to go hunt for your calling. Your calling will find you. So if you're hunting, like, I've been trying to find my calling. I go from career to career. I go from person to person. I go from church to church. I'm trying to find my calling. I'm trying to find my purpose. I want you to understand that your calling will find you. Hear me. I'll give it to you in scripture. Meanwhile, the boy Samuel served the Lord by assisting Eli. Samuel served the Lord by assisting Eli. First of all, let me break that one down for you. Serve in the season that you're in. So Samuel was serving Eli. He wasn't in his calling. He was just serving. Right? And so whatever season you're in life, when you serve it unto the Lord, when you serve it at the best of your ability, God will start to rearrange things in your life, right? And he will say, okay, you're being a good steward here. Okay, you're serving, your obedience, I see you. And your servitude will lead you to the next thing. Serving in the season you're in, and it always won't fit your heart's desire. I served in corporate America for about 10, 11 years. I served in corporate America for about 11 years. I didn't like it. It didn't feel good. It was not my heart's desire. I questioned it every day. God, this ain't what you, I know it ain't. I can't full-time raise my children. They're being raised by the daycare, you know, and I want to be the one that will take them to track meets and cheerleading meets and all these other things. And I want to be, you know, like there for my children. And corporate America won't allow me. Plus corporate America, man, they sure know how to beat a person up, right? It feels like I'm working in a sweatshop. It doesn't feel good. But God was teaching me faith there. He was teaching me trust in him. He was teaching me reliance on him. Listen, when I was in corporate America, I had a miscarriage at work. Crazy. This is not a sob story. But what God was teaching me was his timing, faith, and trust. You see, I had worked there for years, and when it was time for me to go, I had gotten comfortable. I was serving God while God was teaching me faith. He was teaching me to trust him. Faith in not man's hands, but faith in what God would do. And I have to be patient. And when it was time for me to go, he started to tell me, okay, Dannella, you can go. But then I got so comfortable that I got scared to leave. I want you to know that just because you're in this place right now and you're serving to the best of your ability doesn't mean it's permanent. God will tell you when to leave. He will tell you when to move. Don't paint them flags pink. right? And don't make excuses. Well, I know I have a job here. I know that I'm going to get a check every 2 weeks. I got good benefits, right? We start to rationalize the abuse when God has told us to go, because it's scary. Because when he told me to leave, I was going to leave, but I was going to leave into the unknown. I had an idea to start a shop, a salon, right? And I had a few clients, but I had to trust that God was going to build my clientele. The next place I served was my salon. That's when God started to develop my conversation and develop my tone for wisdom. You see, I don't care what y'all say, but your hairstylist is your first therapist. When you got somebody standing over your head for an hour max or an hour minimum, right? You start to build a relationship and you start to build a bond with them. And next thing you know, they know about your husband, they know about your kids, they know about your, what you're dealing with, and they know about work, and they know how to pray for you. They know how to give you encouragement. They become your therapist, right? My mom did hair for 40, 50 years. My sister does hair still. I did hair. And I would tell you probably 99% of my clients became friends, and we were therapeutilizing each other. But God started to build my voice and build my wisdom and start to give me a tone for ministry. It was there when he started to really kind of put me in this place where he was showing me purpose. He was showing me my calling. You see, when you are really like interested in knowing what your calling is, you say, well, what do I do often and well that serves other people? Because remember, your calling is never for you. What do I do? That's the question. What do I do well and often that serves other people? And if you can't find it yourself, then ask someone. Hey, Tawanda. Hey, Washana. Hey, Shira. What do I do well? Right? And it serves other people. And people would tell me all the time, well, Dannella, like, you just have this spirit about you that really, it helps me. I feel like I can be open with you. I know I can tell you something, you ain't gonna go run and tell it. Like, you give me wise counsel. So God started to develop and started to make me aware of what he wanted me to do. Make me aware of the calling, right? I got comfortable there too. I was like, oh, okay, all right, I can do hair and talk. I like this. And then God started to push me out because he said, wait a minute, I can't leave you confined in this small place. I can't leave you confined in this small place. I have to put you, because see, I just had you in preparation. You served well here. I just had you in preparation. Now I'm going to put you where you're supposed to be, but don't get comfortable there. Because see, we always get comfortable, but God is always saying bigger and more. I hope this is making sense. So meanwhile, Samuel served the Lord by assisting Eli. Now in those days, messages from the Lord were very rare and visions were quite uncommon. Meaning God wasn't really speaking. Like messages from the Lord and visions, it wasn't that many of them. These people, some had disrupted God, and people was like, yo, God ain't really speaking like he used to. God ain't really doing what he used to. He had gone quiet. Now, one night, Eli was almost blind by now, had gone to bed. The lamp of God had not yet gone out, and Samuel was sleeping in the tabernacle near the ark of God. Suddenly, the Lord called out, Samuel. Yes, Samuel replied. What is it? He got up and ran to Eli, because remember, he's serving Eli. Samuel says, got up. What is it? Ran to Eli. Here I am. Did you call me? Eli said, I ain't call you. I ain't call you. Go back to bed. So he did. Right? Went back to bed. Then the Lord called out again, Samuel, Rebecca, Kendra. Come on. Dre, Donnie, right? Dannella. He says, again, he got up and went to Eli. Here I am. Did you call me? He said, I didn't call you. I'm not calling your name. I'm sleeping. You waking me up. Go back to bed. Samuel did not know yet the Lord because he had never had a message from the Lord before. This is good, y'all. Say he never had a message from the Lord. Remember, during this time, God wasn't really speaking, right? He wasn't really showing up. And so when he heard his voice, he thought it was, thinking it's Eli. Because I just told you, sometimes we have made God's voice so common. We have made God's voice become our favorite preacher. We have made God's voice our favorite leader, our favorite author. We've made God's voice our husband or our wife. We've made God's voice common. And God is trying to separate so that you can really hear his voice. So the Lord called a third time. And once more, Samuel got up and said, here I am, did you call me? You know what I think is interesting and tripped out about this? He just kept getting up and going. Like this man be like, yo, I didn't call you. He just keep getting up though. Like he didn't get to a point where he just ignored the voice, right? Or ignored the call. He just kept getting up. He just kept being obedient. I'm serving this person and I'm going to serve and I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. So I'm going to keep going. Yes, did you call? And even though he's like, nah, I didn't call. At what point would it click that he says, yo, well, he ain't calling me. Why do I keep getting up? Like, did he not feel like maybe this is a trick? You know what I mean? Like, this is a trick question. Like, you pulling my leg. Is this a prank? Like, he kept getting up, right? Like, I'll go back to when I just said sometimes when we're serving in our season, you have to serve it at your best ability. You have to serve it at your biggest capacity. You have to serve even when you don't want to do it, even when it's not your heart's desire. But if you're in there for that season, do it to your best ability. You have to serve at your best ability because God honors and blesses what you take care of. He honors and blesses what you're a good steward of. You hate the job, but you prayed for that job. You hate that job, and so now you go in with that attitude, and you going in dismissive, and you half doing it, you complaining the whole time, and then you like, well, God, like, why do I have to keep going to this job? I hate this job. And he's like, change your perspective, change your talk, change your tone, change your attitude. I'm trying to teach you a lesson here. I'm trying to teach you a lesson of servitude. I'm trying to teach you a lesson of faith. I'm trying to teach you a lesson of trust. But you complaining. You too busy trying to complain and tell me what you hate about it. You giving me all the bucket list and checklist, and you think that's going to move me to let you get out of this. You think that that's going to move me to give you another position or to give you a raise or to give you a increase in this. But instead, I want you to learn what you're supposed to learn here. I want you to serve to the best of your ability here. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just get up and get tired and be like, shoot, I just ain't, whatever. I ain't doing this no more. Then you miss out. Because God will call you right where you're serving it. I want you to hear how the calling found Samuel. Samuel didn't find the calling. The calling found Samuel. Hear me. He was just serving. He was serving in his season. Man, I'm going through this tough season. Y'all, it's hard. I can barely make ends meet. Like everybody, I'm just, nobody understands. Serve to your best ability. Don't give up on you. You know what I mean? Like don't give up on you, because that position, that season that you're in, it will reap, it will harvest good fruit. But you have to change your perspective and attitude about it. God, what am I learning in here? What am I learning during this season? God, are you training my ears to hear your voice? God, forgive me for making you common. I'll take this position. I'll take this place, and I'm going to serve it to the best of my ability. If you're a house mom, right, or what do you call it, housewife, or if you're a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad, whatever it may be, I'm going to serve in this area to the best of my ability because I know, God, that you're using it for my good. And I know the calling will find me. You don't go find your calling. Here we go. So Samuel went back to bed, and the Lord came and called as before, Samuel, Samuel. This time, now he didn't call him 3 times, but on the 4th time, he says his name twice. He says, Island Beauty, Island Beauty. He says, Kendra, Kendra. He says, privileged, privileged. Shay, Shay. Deja. He said, hey, Deja. You know what I mean? Like he's calling you, because now I'm distinguishing myself. I'm letting you know that it's me. And this is how you know it's me, because now you're alarmed. Now you're alert. Now you have what y'all call a gut feeling. Now I have this, all right, I know that it's time. I know that it's time. Either you're calling me to stay, or you're calling me to move, but you're calling me out. There's a transition happening. There's a transformation, because now I know without a shadow of a doubt that this ain't just somebody, this ain't my homeboy calling me. This ain't my homegirl calling me. This ain't my friend calling me, right? This is a different type of calling. Like when I pick up, I can tell when my biological sister, Kendra, when she's alarmed by something, she always calls my name twice, 3 times. She'll always say it. I can always tell when it's my sister calling and there's something that requires my attention. Kendra, are you still on? She'll say, Dannella, Dannella, Dannella. And that's her ringing an alarm. That's her alerting me. And God has alerted many of you, but you've made his voice so common that you don't realize that he's saying, yo, Shatora, calm down. Shatora, right? You don't realize it because your mind is so clouded now. It's so many things going in between your ears, and you've made him common. So Samuel goes, Eli says, then Eli realized it was the Lord who was calling, because you see, Eli has had an encounter with God. Eli knows, oh, this just ain't nobody calling me. This is God. He said, okay, cool. This is what you do. All right. So go lay down. And if someone calls again, say, speak, Lord, your servant is listening. So Samuel went and laid down. And when he went and laid down, the Lord came and called again. He said his name twice. And then he says, speak, Lord, your servant is listening. I want y'all to get to a place where you stop entertaining distractions, and you stop entertaining so much noise, and you stop entertaining your own complaints. You stop entertaining but I want this. You stop getting so big, right? That you minimize yourself so small that you get isolated, and you say, speak, Lord. I'm listening. Speak, Lord. Because I want to be obedient. And I don't have time. So I don't have time to go in no more circles. I don't have time to go into repeat. I don't have time for it. I just want to get to the point. Like, speak, Lord. I'm ready to hear from you. Forgive me for making your voice common. Forgive me for trying to put you on the same level as everybody else, God. You are God Almighty. You are God all by yourself. Speak, Lord, I'm listening. And when you speak, I will be obedient. You see, the calling found Samuel. He didn't look for the calling. And when God spoke to him, then he gave him instruction. This is what you're missing. You're like, but what is my calling? What's my purpose? And I keep going in circles. You're going in circles because I promise you, there's no Instagram meme. There's no Instagram like a video that you'll follow. There's none of these approaches that will literally give you the instruction that you need to hear from the Father. When God has an assignment, and when he has purpose, and when he has calling for you, is very specific. He's going to tell you. So he tells them, yo, I'm about to do a shocking thing in Israel. And I'm going to carry it out. I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. But I'm calling you because I'm going to use you to go and deliver the message. I'm going to use you. And so, because I've trusted you, because you've trusted me, because you hear my voice, because you're right there in the pocket now, because you've done the work, because you're obedient, because you realize that it's me now speaking to you, I'm going to fulfill your calling. This is what I've called you to do. See, many times we get lost in the sauce and we don't know what our calling is because we going to determine what the calling is. Nope, God called me to preach. God called me to teach. Nope, God called me to do this and that. God called me into entrepreneurship. And God like, man, y'all sure be using my name in vain. Y'all be telling me what I did. And I ain't said none of that stuff. God said, yo, I ain't did none of that stuff. Your calling, how you identify your calling. Let me give y'all these nuggets real quick. I want y'all to write them down. The first thing, how you know it's your calling. Your calling is not about you. Me getting up on live every morning is not about me. There are other things I could be doing. I love doing this, right? I have fallen in love with doing it. But my calling is not for me. Yes, I learned right along with y'all, but it's not about Dannella. My calling is not necessarily my career. This is not a career for me.
Yeah.
Right? This is not a career for me. Your calling is not necessarily your career. That's what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me pin this. That's what you're passionate about. Your calling comes with sacrifice. I hope y'all are getting this.
Jesus.
Your calling comes with sacrifice. Yep, 100% you're going to have to rip away from your old self. You are.
Jesus.
Yeah. And your prayer ain't just going to be, God, cover me, protect me from hurt, harm, and danger, and you still harming yourself. You still participating in the stuff that you praying for him to stop doing. Tell me, God, protect me from hurt, harm, and danger, but you still wilding out. Because you haven't decided yet or you haven't come into the realization that it's going to cause you to sacrifice. Thank you for the badge. Your calling gives God the glory. You won't get the glory. It's not about you. Your calling will give God the glory. When Samuel was called, right? He was giving God the glory. God was gonna get the glory out of it. When Dre was called, it's to glorify the Lord. It's not because you get to see his name in lights. Although that may come with it, that God gets the glory.
Yeah.
What you think, brother?
First of all, I don't appreciate how loud you was this morning. I didn't sign up for this. I felt personally attacked, especially when you start talking to your therapist. I feel like now I have to have a conversation with him. Like, don't disrespect me like that no more.
Listen.
And don't disrespect my sister like that no more. Let's be the last time I talk to you, sir. But it was, first of all, every time we do this, like when I have to teach 6 a.m., and you talk about the same exact thing of which I talked about. Today's message in the 6 a.m. was the purge.
Yeah.
Hi, Jesus, right. And it was literally talking about those that were on here. It was the exact same thing, right? Because when you were purged, and
I don't know.
Daniel, Eli taught Samuel.
Somebody's trying to call brother, and so his service is all choppy. Let me say this while we get him to connect again. Are you back? Can you hear us?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. No, I said Eli taught Samuel a form of purging. Because the interesting thing is this. Instead of pointing Samuel to himself, he pointed Samuel back to God.
Yeah.
Now, people forget, Eli at this point was already being rejected by God.
Mm-hmm.
And rather than allow himself or his heart to be hardened, he still did one final act to give God glory.
Mm-hmm.
He pointed him back to the Lord. He said, listen, he recognized you're being called by the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
See, people that truly walk with God will never point, and you said it, will never point you to them. They will point you to him.
Yep.
Because they realize, I'm not your source. I may be of assistance to you, but I'm not your source. Mm-hmm. Only he is the source. Mm-hmm. And when he taught him that, I thought that was so powerful, because when you truly are a person that God has called, commissioned, right? And you're walking into your purpose and your assignment and your destiny, you have this innate nature to realize that what I do is beyond my own actual capacity of doing it. Mm-hmm. It will always keep you in the place of needing him. Whenever you truly understand that your purpose and your assignment of life. Now, notice this. Purpose is not at all what God has called you to do. So, can you hear me?
Your service is hating on you today.
Boo. Your purpose is not connected to your passion. Now, you can be passionate about something, but that not be what God has called you to do.
Right.
I love the drums. I love them so much. But I'm not going to be the next Travis Barker.
Right.
You hear what I'm saying? Like, I'm passionate because we've seen it. Like you said, we've seen these memes and these videos. Like, if you want to find your purpose, it's in the passion. It's not. Jesus' purpose was not found in him being passionate about going to the cross.
Right. He was like, yo, listen, you got another way to do this. We can do this. It was not his passion to go to the cross.
Hello.
And that's so interesting that you say that, because I hear people say it all the time. What are you passionate about? That's your calling. No, baby. Listen, people who know that they've been truly called, many are called, few are chosen. You realize that it's now a ultimate sacrifice. Your flesh is broken and you really don't want to do it. You really, really don't want to do it. You'll be like, no, thank you. I'll pass, right? I'll pass. I want to help somebody. Somebody says, amen. I feel we all have a gift and a purpose, not always the same. You're absolutely right. There's scripture that talks about how we're all given a different gift, right? But it's all to edify the church. It's all to edify one another. It's no different than you have all these body parts, right? You have eyes, but your eyes can't do what your hands can do, but they work together. You understand? Your eyes can't do what your mouth can do, but they're all equally needed. There's purpose for them, right? In order for you to be able to do like this, right? Or do like this, right? And so you're right. We all have a gift, and it can't be the same. Some people have the gift of prophecy. Some people have the gift of teaching. Some people have the gift of dreams, right? But if you understand how it works, then they all work together to fulfill God's purpose, ultimate purpose and plan. I hope that makes sense. Can you hear me, brother?
It's like real choppy. I think it could be me.
I think it's you. Can y'all hear me okay? Blame it on him.
Okay, so it's not, I think it's they say Instagram is freezing.
Okay. All right, hold on. Hold on.
Change is coming.
Hold on, y'all. It could be because if y'all notice, we're in a different location in my house, and sometimes the internet ain't the best over here. Is it still choppy?
A little bit, yeah. She ever said we hold it.
All right, so if it's choppy for y'all on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, and we're on YouTube. So whatever other platform may serve you, you can join those until we can work out what's going on. So if y'all want to jump to another platform.
Can you invite on TikTok? Like, can you go live?
I don't know how to work TikTok. But join another app. Wait, somebody say now, Sham, something. Why you choose this location? Okay, so I chose this location. Sham, leave me alone. Sham, leave me alone. I chose this location, Miss Girl, because I ain't moved them dead flowers off the top of that piano yet, and I don't want y'all to talk about them dead flowers. And that's for real.
Why are you like this? Why?
I don't know, but y'all sure did jump fast. Y'all was like, all right, come on, I'm going to one of these other platforms. What's the TikTok? Dannella Lane. Everything it's Dannella Lane. Oh, okay, it's better now. All right, y'all can hear me? Cool.
Jesus help my sister, please.
Jesus, take the wheel. Somebody said go downstairs, Dannella. YouTube is clear. You hear me? It's Instagram acting up. Hey, YouTube. Hey, y'all. Somebody said had to come from Instagram. I sure do appreciate you. I sure do. They said Instagram back up and better. It's better now. All right. Y'all better?
That's
Somebody said I got dead flowers on my patio. Yeah, I mean.
You're gonna leave my sister alone. Okay, I'm not gonna attack
I'm waiting for the housekeeper to come and do it, because you know them dead flowers, that water start to stink. And so I don't want to mess with it, because if it splash on my arm, I'm going to be like, ah!
Jesus Christ.
Yo.
You need help. You need help.
Emma said, listen, it's getting better and better. I'm just being honest with y'all. Y'all, don't judge me, because, listen, we the same. Don't do me. Because y'all know y'all be leaving them dead flowers up to me. I'm going to let them dry out. And them things be like dry rotted. And it's either I'm gonna throw them away or I'm going to throw the whole vase away. Come on, brother. Let's finish this class up, because y'all funny. Y'all playing in class today.
Listen. All I'm gonna say is this, people of God. In closing, because Instagram is being real bald headed right now.
That's funny.
Real bald headed.
Wait, Shiamba. Bye. Y'all class dismissed. Shiamba said it's getting better and better, and then she just came in. She said spoke too soon. Now it's getting worse and worse.
Listen,
Ain't no class day. Class dismissed.
We will try to get them out. May the Lord bless you and keep you while we're absent one from another. We will see you all tomorrow at Pastor's Session, fully reloaded.
Fully reloaded. Bye, y'all, for real. Love y'all. Bye. Oh, man. Y'all, that's funny. We will see y'all tomorrow. Let me figure out these technical difficulties. We having technical difficulty. I can't even say it. Bye.